Zygote Press is a print organization. We have a gallery, we do a residency program, and we have a shop. So we have shop users, we have renters that come in and use our equipment and our space, and then we have members who can also come in and use our space. They can also exhibit here, they can sell artwork here, and they can participate in some of our outreach programs.
We exhibit 8 times per year. It's a very good amount of exhibitions, and we represent the whole variety of printmaking. This is a very special show, I would say, the Legacy show. We have 5 great artists. All of these works, all of these artists are very different. They live in a very different era, and they work in very different techniques. And look at that, it's so touching, and you can ask so many questions, and here it's like a story behind all of these arts, and it's like a life still going on.
So for this legacy project to do outreach programming, what we've done is connect to Lorain County, which is where a lot of the artists from the legacy show were from, and then we will show the children through mini workshops how these artists work, what they made, and how they as themselves, small artists, can make work. The legacy of these artists is pretty much continuing what they've started and honoring what they've done for their communities.
With recent passings of Paul Arnold and with the subsequent passings of Mary Owen Rosenthal and David Jansheski, time, I think, was of the essence to see something like this happen. The urgency of making sure that their spirits are fresh, getting this stuff out in the open, having a party, and really bringing their memories alive and extending it to the next generation is what legacy means to me.
All of these prints here from this series called Homages. I really love this series, and you will see and you will notice like artists here, Modigliani, Matisse, Miro.
What he does, it's something that, you know, it's hard to explain to somebody who does not make prints, but it's something so technically challenging and so particular and so almost magic that that when you were seeing in print, it made it look easy. I was asked by the family of Paul Arnold to make a decision about what they wanted to do with all these blocks. What's gonna happen? There's gonna be children working with the blocks and understanding how a block is made by just putting the hands on the very blocks of Paul Arnold, which makes me incredibly happy.
It will be dazzling to know that Paul Arnold's blacks will be used to print more and more prints, and that kids will be able to understand and demystify what printmaking is about, because sometimes it's very hard to tell how these things are made, and there's a lot of skills that you don't get to see, a lot of magic you don't get to see that ends up in the print.
One of the most prominent memories that I think all of us in our family have of our Uncle Bob is his sense of wonder and awe in the presence of nature.
To help encourage kids to find their creative spirit. That is so Uncle Bob. He would encourage the creative spirit in everyone. So I think that's what legacy is about. That's all about carrying on and promoting and advocating for his work.
Joe is everywhere here. He helped build Zygote Press, very literally.
Joe lusted for printmaking. And I say lusted because any of you who've had a conversation with him about lust versus love, love wasn't a strong enough emotion, but it was all-encompassing. Lust was all-encompassing is what he said. It was more than love. And he lusted for Zygote, and he lusted for printmaking.
This project is such an honor. He would have loved it because he got to show artwork again, but hated it because he was very humble.
When you discover that you feel like taking art somehow seriously, it's like being reborn in a different planet. And so in this planet you have to kind of look for your parents, you have to look for your mom, you look for your dad. And so for me, Mary Rosenthal was very much the artistic mother. I was always very surprised to see how woodblock could be such an interesting world of expression in which like so many different artists with so many different qualities of mark making could find their own voice. And so through her I learned so much. She was just very much like a nurturing person, and it's something that I always find very much related to printmaking. When I teach printmaking to other people, I want to make sure that we are very well understood about the nature of this trade, which is a trade of generosity.
We need art in the world. We need beauty in the world, especially now, especially in the time we live in now.
Talking about legacy, it's quite fantastic because these were my elders, and so when your elders are gone, you have this feeling that you are the first line, you are somebody else's elder.
What you left behind, it will inspire, it will give some sparkle to the future generation.
If the craft has to somehow survive, is because there is a legacy and there is an interest and there is a sharing